You know, sometimes YouTube can be a bit of a pain in the ass. Which is why I want to take a break from all the madness this channel usually is about. Bel Air, man. To talk about something more important. And yeah, I'm aware that some of my videos have been YouTube centric lately. I mean, it's not the first time. Probably because I had the word cancer in the title of my video, which I will admit is a bit of an over-exaggeration. But believe it or not, I don't believe everything is cancer. That was just for the goofs. Being unironic was what I was being. Hey Fred, do you want a little wrestle? Sex! But not this time though. I am not joking or being unironic when it comes to demonetization. If you've already seen a YouTuber's video on demonetization, chances are you've heard nothing good about it. Because the demonetization tag is literally a cancer. If YouTube was a cancer patient, this would be the tumor. And just like a tumor, it spreads and slowly destroys something over time and affects everyone around them. The content creator
feel safe at all anymore, because every time I upload a video, you give it one of these.
The viewers or users and advertisers. Now I want to get this out the way. I get it, the site could be a pain in the ass sometimes. I've had one of my videos taken down and one of my videos age restricted twice. But like watered off a duck's back, but in this case it's fucking acid. I just got over it and moved on because I didn't want to make a typical YouTube complaint video. Instead, I wanted to continue making content like this. However, something pissed me off enough to make this video and made me realize how crippling demonetization really is. And I'm not just talking about ad revenue loss for content creators. It is part of it. But before we get into all that, to fully understand demonetization, a history lesson is a must for context. And if you already know it, here's a friendly reminder. In the beginning, it all started with a joke by PewDiePie. It was funny because it was at the expense of another YouTuber. He paid two bush people to say, "Death to all Jews, subscribe to Keemstar."
Subscribe to Keemstar.
Now, if there's anything we learned from current times, jokes surrounding the topic of Nazis or Jews can get you into a lot of trouble.
It's a joke, you fucking cunts!
It doesn't matter what the context of the situation may be, because people are stupid. Situations like that happen and you, as a result, end up getting a lot of crap for it.
Which is all well and good to say, but when your jokes involve continually punching down on certain groups, so much so that neo-Nazi pages start sharing your videos, maybe you need better jokes.
Which is exactly what the Wall Street Journal did. They gave YouTube crap for Felix's edgy content. Even YouTube fired back when they had a pair, made a statement that anyone with a brain would make. Remember this statement because it's important for later on. But either way, it put the Wall Street Journal and other mainstream media outlets in their place. And they did not like that one bit. What it boils down to is they hated the fact that people with massive audiences and support were making people like the Wall Street Journal look like more of an embarrassment.
The fucking senior editor of Wall Street Journal. The senior editor of Wall Street Journal tweeted, "Man, this PewDiePie video is long."
But what these idiots didn't seem to understand was that they were just providing everyone with content. Joke after joke after joke. At their expense, also made content creators a lot of money.
And that's why Hitler never had any babies. Oh no. I'm fading out. This wasn't supposed to happen this way. Ainsley, do something! The Wall Street Journal! They were right all along!
Which left such a bitter taste in their mouth because anti-Semitic remarks for PewDiePie weren't working and no one was buying it.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
This shows as clear as day this was more of an agenda than being offended by a remark. And because they didn't get their way the first time, this is when they started playing dirty. 2 months after, onto plan B. By twisting the situation out of context to fit their narrative, they went back and tried again on YouTube's advertisers. So they would tell other brands that their ads are playing on racist, so-called racist videos to pull spending from Google, which led to, you guessed it, the original Adpocalypse. Now I know this might be hard to believe, but I don't think YouTube would be that incompetent to let an ad play on a video with a racist slur in the title. And at the time, it was the only evidence that the Wall Street Journal were promoting to advertisers to pull their ads, which led to a lot of suspicion.
Starbucks, Toyota, and Coca-Cola. And we're talking about this month, right? Because they all have essentially the same view count. This shit does not add up. And by the way, those are like the 3 most premium brands that all just happen to be running on this one very racist video in a span of, what, 30 views? You can see the viewership only changed by 30. This video didn't have any ads on it. It made $8 over its lifetime. Last time an ad ran on it, seen it from the source itself. September of last year. What's going on, dude? Something doesn't fucking add up.
Make it that of what you will, but that doesn't change the fact that ads were running away from YouTube. So what do? The solution? A complete joke. The demonetization tag's purpose is to police non-advertiser friendly content on their site. So if the demonetization algorithm detects a video isn't non-advertiser friendly based on titles and tags or the video itself, no ads. So basically, it is a bot speaking on behalf of advertisers that determines what content is advertiser friendly or not. And when you send an appeal for monetization to a manual reviewer up at YouTube, same thing, is it suitable for ads, yes or no? So with that all being said, has the demonetization policy worked out in YouTube's favour? Fuck no.
A bit of a boner to pick with YouTube. Over the last couple of years, YouTube has been going through this transitional period where they've Disneyfied the entire platform. So YouTube's been doing a thing where they've been hiding, demonetizing, age gating, and removing our content.
I have to freaking censor myself because this platform's balls.
You can follow the rules to the letter. You can do your level best. You can moderate your comment section. You can make sure your videos are lovely and wholesome and fine and innocent, and YouTube will still demonetize you because they decided.
But Pyro, what videos get restricted ads? I don't know, to be honest. All of them.
As expressed by other creators, there is nothing good that came out of demonetization. All it's done is made things worse, more controversial, and has caused more damage than good. In fact, it's caused more controversy when it fucking started. So with a lot of the community making videos on demonetization, YouTube will give brief updates every now and then on how they're trying to improve the system, which I will give them the benefit of the doubt doing.
Know how important it is to get monetization right, and that it remains a pain point for some of you. Last year we increased the accuracy of monetization icons by 40%, and we also made it easier for creators to appeal when we made the wrong call.
But I don't think those statistics, or that statement alone, is quite accurate. And you probably think the updates explaining monetization are half-assed, and the only reason they make them because it makes them look good, and if they don't, it affects their bottom line. Well, if we want to talk about their bottom line, this thing definitely affects it. Because if you've watched any video to do with monetization, 99% of them are about money or a loss of ad revenue. Now don't get the wrong idea, this isn't going to be a boo-hoo, I've got no ad revenue type video. But it does play a massive part on why the demonetization policy is taking this site on a slow train crash if they don't do something about it. Because you will get demonetized no matter what at any random point. It could be while it's uploading or days, months and weeks when the video has been out. This is bad for business.
When I post a video, even when it's uploading sometimes, it gets demonetized. Even if I haven't added any tags or any information at all, they're like, nah, this channel probably not gonna like it.
Because here's the thing, if content is attractive for an audience, whatever the content may be, it is attractive for advertisers, sponsorships, etc. And we get it, adverts make you money, but here's the thing, if you don't make money, YouTube doesn't make any money. So they're shooting themselves in the foot either way. Now whenever you hear people criticize a business, they tend to think you're pretentious because you're telling them how to run it. Well, let me tell you a story. One day I was out for the day, I saw a gym. I fancied using their gym for the day cause I'm not a member. And the receptionist told me we take members only. And I remember thinking to myself, are you fucking serious? I had literally a $5 right in front of them. Now I know a gym and YouTube aren't the same thing, but the point I'm trying to make is that you would be very surprised how some businesses lack common sense. For example, demonetizing an entire channel based on assumption instead of looking into the channel first.
YouTube demonetized my entire channel without any warning, and their explanation for why is really vague. After I complained about it to them in an email, they monetized it again. They still haven't told me why it happened though. This is happening to lots of other small channels and has been going on for about half a year. If your YouTube channel gets demonetized for reused content, then you might be able to get it remonetized by emailing the YouTube creator support team with this address.
If you ever wonder why the site's problems never seem to get fixed, whenever you try to contact them by email or make a video about it that gets a decent amount of attention, it's probably because the manpower is used to monitor the demonetization bot. So when a video gets demonetized for the stupidest of reasons, the manual reviewer has to watch the entire video to check whether it's good to go. There are thousands of videos that get uploaded a day that most likely are demonetized by their bot. So to sift through hours and hours and hours of content in line for an appeal must be mentally taxing and exhausting. Oh look, a video that's 24 hours long. What, are you going to sift through the entire thing after the channel sends a manual appeal because their systems think it's non-ad friendly? Yeah, I don't think so. So to get round it, because the rules are so vague, they probably just demonetize next, demonetize next. So even if you yourself think you're following the rules, the manual reviewers are probably having a tough time following them as well. And that creates two parties. Ones that want to have less hassle, so they demonetize the videos anyway because the bot says so they don't feel they need to look into it further and rinse and repeat, just so they don't have to watch the entire video because they got to move on to the next one. Or ones that try their best to follow the rules but end up making mistakes because there's too many advertiser friendly rules to keep up with new ones on top that are similar to rules they've already made and completely mistake the context of the channel for something else.
I don't speak Hebrew, so I couldn't understand most of them, but this one has English subtitles, so I watched it and it was pretty good. But YouTube decided they can't monetize any of their videos for almost a month now. At the time I'm writing the script for this video, this channel still hasn't gotten its monetization back. And for all we know, it might never get it back. This one especially pisses me off because it's an animated YouTube show. Original animation is the most original thing you can make because you have to make it from scratch. It takes a really long time to make videos like this. You see these 3-month gaps in between the uploads? And after all that hard work, YouTube goes and takes their monetization away because they can't be bothered to make the extra effort to verify that this channel isn't just uploading episodes of Family Guy or whatever.
This is probably why they brought out this requirement goal that you have to hit as a YouTube channel. So not only you're appealed for monetization, but it lessens the workload on their end. Think about it, that's probably why they tried to bring out YouTube Heroes at one point, and that was before demonetization. Because having someone monitor the site costs money. So why not get the users to do it? And look how that turned out. Now I've mentioned rules briefly, but I haven't forgotten about the advertiser-friendly rules that YouTube set for you to follow. And don't get me wrong, rules should be followed. But if I went through every one of them, giving feedback, we'd be here all day. However, I'm going to focus on one rule, the rule I find most ridiculous and crippling.
I've heard YouTube doesn't like it when people swear in their videos.
What would happen if you cursed right now? Huh? What would happen? Oh, was that bleep? I think it was. Sorry, buddy.
New YouTube rules, you can't even say the word or shit, or Punjabi stuff without getting demonetized.
They demonetized my entire back catalog. And it was a huge financial hit because there's swearing, because there's paradoxical violence.
They start, if you curse within the first 30 seconds, they demonetize.
Like that.
I was like, what?
Yeah, it's absurd.
What an absolute ridiculous waste of time that must be. And resources. Ding someone because they swore. Grow up. Millions and billions of people swear, and if that's such a concern for advertisers, then maybe you should ask them what the hell are they doing advertising on TV. TV has hundreds and hours of mature content on there. Can you imagine if advertisers pulled their ads from TV because of that reason alone, that would be fucking mayhem. TV would crumble overnight. Gone. What scandal on YouTube forced advertisers to pull their ads because of excessive strong language alone and nothing else? Not one. So I don't understand why it's a rule on the ad-friendly guidelines. This regulation absolutely alienates mature content. Because big surprise, not everyone likes to make content for babies. You want to do that? Go on YouTube Kids. In fact, it's what put YouTube on the map and made it what it is today, which once again attracted advertisers. With that being said, I know what's coming next. Oh, but there are shows that have profanity, but they have bleeps. And it's all about context. Those shows aren't real, that's fake. Yeah, on some occasions, but not always.
All those fucking customers, do me a favour, yeah, fuck up upstairs.
So if your dumb bot is policing people because they said a naughty word, that is hurting you. It will do it regardless of context. And I have a few examples of this which I will talk about later. Now, Creator Insider, who are very informative and I think do a good job in telling you what goes on YouTube, they made a video about profanity. And according to them, the occasional swear word is fine, great. However, tone and the amount of times you may use it in the beginning of the video may result in demonetization. This is because, according to them, advertisers are sensitive to that, which they're really not, but we'll get to that later. The problem is the bot doesn't understand context with how or when or the amount of times you swear. It's either randomized or you're still at risk of getting dinged. Also, why are these requirements so cryptic and convoluted? You could easily solve this issue by having a disclaimer that tells the viewer, hey, this content might be for a mature audience and may offend some people. Do you want to continue? Yes or no? Problem fucking solved. And yet, I'm aware they have something similar, but it's utter shit. It does fuck all, and if it was done right, oh my god, can you imagine how many problems this would solve for mature content on YouTube? You wouldn't need this thing and you make a cut from the video for one. Even if they don't get rid of demonetization completely, they'd be making the right step in the right direction. And they certainly wouldn't need this regulation anymore. Also, what about adverts specifically aimed at adults? I can imagine there are quite a few of them on YouTube, like adverts for video games, say Grand Theft Auto. One of the most controversial game franchises on the planet have been adverts themselves that literally break, at least in YouTube's point of view, the ad-friendly guidelines on YouTube. How ironic is that? An ad that breaks YouTube's ad-friendly guidelines is not advertiser-friendly on a channel that gets demonetized for literally doing the exact same thing in context. Silly, isn't it? Now, I get it, Grand Theft Auto 5 is ancient, but it's an example that's similar to other relevant examples that are not just video games. Again, I have not got a problem with rules. If rules are set, you should follow and respect them, since you're using their service. Hell, if I have to, I would bleep my own swearing if that was the case. It would suck, but what could you do? But I am having a very hard time following the rules when I see double standards like this.
YouTube is contradicting itself with its new show, Wayne. This show breaks every single rule that YouTube gave us. Everything that YouTube told us personally was wrong with our videos is in this show.
For those who don't know, YouTube Originals is like Netflix, but on YouTube. Now, I don't have a problem with any of these shows, but the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I have got a very similar story to Raka Raka. There is a YouTube's original movie called Bodied, and basically, it's like 8 Mile, but replace Eminem with a ginger.
What do you do? I mean, besides appropriate black culture for your livelihood.
You're not a suicide bomber just because you got the eyebrows of an angry bird.
Ooh, a bit of discrimination there. Where does YouTube Originals get their funding?
Forbidden us from making mature content and then fund an entire multi-million-dollar show making that sort of content.
Oh, really?
What a twist!
Now, I made a rap basically taking the piss out of YouTubers making diss tracks on each other. That video took me ages to make, beat, lyrics, animation. I didn't even mention any names, nor did I jab at anyone's race. All I was doing is taking the piss out of a silly YouTube trend, which was YouTubers making diss tracks on each other again, by making a silly diss track of my own. No surprise that got dinged for whatever vague, mysterious rule I broke. But meanwhile, on Bodied,
like a white boy shaking your hand. Just because you look like Kim Jong-un doesn't mean you're ill, son. As far as I'm concerned, that's culturally sensitive by battle rap standards. Fuck it.
And a fun fact, this show was produced and made by Eminem himself, so the lines in the show are going to be 1,000,000 times more brutal than mine will ever be. Now you might think, what's this got to do with demonetization? Everything. Because why is it when we do something similar, or for much less, it's considered sensitive to advertisers? Now YouTube will justify it with a disclaimer in the beginning, but why can't we have that as well? Why do they get away with it? But in a way, I will give YouTube the benefit of the doubt. It's good that YouTube is funding shows with mature themes, in a way, because at least they have some understanding that not everyone wants family-friendly content.
Bad content. Bad language. Bad for ads.
Which is a bit of a stretch to say, I know, with what happened with YouTube's horribly forced family-friendly rewind. However, what this system has done is that it's made it even harder for even advertisers to advertise their product on YouTube. How it works is YouTube and the content creator get paid if the ad is clicked on or is watched for 30 seconds. Basically, traffic in exchange for ad revenue. Of course, they advertise in other mediums, but because YouTube's the second largest site on the web, it's a no-brainer. But because the system thinks that what would benefit advertisers is non-advertiser friendly, advertisers are missing out on potential custom. Look at PewDiePie's congratulations video. By the time of this recording, it has 24 million views, and I see no ads on it, which I assume is demonetized for some stupid, minuscule reason, which now has cost advertisers millions of clicks and traffic. If I was an advertiser and I wanted to advertise on this video and I saw no ads on it, I'd be pretty fucking upset. I just wasted money as an advertiser on a video that got demonetized out the blue because the yellow tag deemed it non-advertiser friendly on my behalf. I don't care who or what advertiser you are. Who would not want to advertise on a video with that many clicks? Obviously, the video's got its ads back now and has gotten more views since then. But the point I'm making is it shouldn't have happened to begin with. You interrupted my source of traffic that I paid for, motherfucker. And let's break the mold to the stupid claim that advertisers are sensitive to anything that's 18+. That is the biggest load of bollocks I have ever heard. Now let's get this out of the way. Advertisers can advertise on whatever the hell they want. I understand that they don't want to advertise on things such as anything that might endanger children, or a video with a racist slur in the title, or if a YouTuber, say, films a dead body in the forest, because it's association and you wouldn't want to be associated with those things. And speaking of association, YouTube has been very lousy on how it manages its ads and where those ads are meant to be placed. For example, I know this is an old ad, but it was advertising booze on a Dora the fucking Explorer video. A family-friendly show made for kids. Are you out of your mind? If they're not careful, stupid management like this can lead to another boycott. All it takes is some sketchy journalist to report to the advertiser, look where your video is playing, and they pull out. Because every time something like that happens, demonetization gets worse. And this results in stupid decisions like disabling and demonetizing family-friendly channels to protect minors from pedophiles in the comments.
By demonetizing those videos, all you're doing is helping the pedophile, because now the pedophile doesn't have to sit through an ad. And now they can watch it with no ads, and they can't comment, which means there's no way to find them.
And to prove it was a dumb idea from the start,
monitoring comments led us to finding a rogue individual posting pirated, explicit videos of girls. This watermark led to a vast distribution system where pedophiles could view and post a plethora of disturbing content. which finally led to us finding the main child pornography website.
Which is a topic I hate to bring up or talk about because I despise these types of scumbags, and so do advertisers. That's why Subway ditched their mascot, because they found out he was a predator. YouTube is supposed to convince advertisers that YouTube is a good place to advertise, and in their own words, why it's better than TV.
YouTube reaches more 18 to 49-year-olds in an average week than all cable TV networks combined.
But here's the thing, you can't force or make advertisers advertise on your platform however the hell you want. It's their ads. But the ones that are convinced to still advertise on YouTube, no matter how good YouTube's tools for advertising are, if a content creator gets demonetized, you've blown your money and your ads are going to be very limited or not shown at all. And the ones that do need convincing need a lot of convincing. So YouTube has to be an advertisement itself to these advertisers to get them to come back. And it hasn't been a very good one. If you look at YouTube Rewind, for example, everyone hated it because it was a misrepresentation and out of touch campaign to get back advertisers. And in some ways, you may even consider this Rewind a false advertisement itself, where they represent everyone as family friendly and squeaky clean, that we all do ASMR and do stupid dances from Fortnite, where not everyone on the platform makes content like that. I certainly don't. So advertisers are left with the impression, okay, this is what I'm going to advertise on, only to find content they didn't really expect, because it wasn't properly represented in advertisements like Rewind. So with all that hassle, why do advertisers bother coming back, scandal after scandal? One word, lower rates.
So, just so you know, advertisers will not typically pull out just because it's part of the moral high ground. They pull out so that when they want to come back, they can try to get lower advertising rates. That's the real reason. I mean, they could always say it's for the moral reason that they say, but not necessarily always. It's basically just a system of everyone trying to take advantage of everyone else. It's the mainstream media trying to take advantage of the situation to discredit YouTube, and then it's the advertisers trying to take advantage of the situation to get lower advertising rates.
Now, this is the last thing I want to talk about, and I've dreaded talking about. In fact, I hoped it was more conspiracy than anything, but there's just too much evidence to back it up. And if you piece everything I've said so far together, this is the final nail in the coffin. And one of the biggest reasons why demonetization is self-harming the platform is because demonetization affects the performance of a video.
YouTube, I beg you, right? Please don't demonetize my videos or fuck me in the suggested for such a shit, retarded reason as it has naughty words in it.
YouTube said to us that demonetized videos do not result in minimized views, which is a total lie. Here's a video of ours that got demonetized. It was getting 2,800 views a minute. The second it got demonetized, it started to reduce right down to 70%. We lost 70% of those viewers as soon as it was demonetized.
I did not want to talk about it at all, but it needs to be said because I have substantial evidence to back up what they're claiming. So Article 13 passed recently, and YouTube's been very vocal against it, hasn't it?
Article 13. Thank you to everyone who helped shine a light on the serious unintended consequences of the European copyright proposal. You have proven to be a powerful voice in the debate. Your videos were viewed hundreds of millions of times, and millions of people signed the Change.org petition. The policy negotiations didn't end in December as expected, but policymakers are hoping to close it out in February. So please, keep speaking up and making your voices heard.
I made a video called What Will Happen If Article 13 Passed, and it was monetized for 3 months. It was a joke when I took the piss out of the EU. I even had #SaveTheInternet at the end of the video, because I am fully and still against Article 13 or any of the EU laws. Then, a couple of weeks ago, the video started getting some attention in the suggested. Yeah, no, fucking sweet, right? It looked like it had the potential to take off. Guess what YouTube decided to do? You guessed it, they dinged me, which spoiled any chances of my video getting any more exposure. After 3 months of monetization. Obviously, I tried to get it manually reviewed and they rejected it. Yeah, thanks. But what bothers me is that it's a video speaking out against Article 13 and its stupid law, which YouTube themselves are against. Yet they rejected my appeal after 3 months of monetization when it started to get more attention, where the context of the video was pretty much the same message as YouTube. And if you're going to judge the context of the video thinking that I wasn't taking it seriously because the video is somewhat silly, doesn't matter. Whether I was mocking it or ranting about it, 1, I did my part to spread the message as best I can, and 2, it was the same song and dance everyone was preaching. Article 13 is bad. Simple. A message like that, regardless who uploaded it, should go out to as many people as possible, but YouTube stopped that from happening, didn't it? Money is not the reason I'm angry at this. If I got demonetized and the only problem was that I had limited ads or no ads at all, I'd be okay with that. The issue is it fucks with your reach in suggested videos. Now, YouTube's response to this is that restricted ads or demonetization does not affect the performance of a video.
If you go from green to yellow, will that affect your placement and you know, in trending, and will people see your video? Does the YouTube algorithm say fuck you, it's on yellow, or fuck you, it's on demonetization? They told me no, officially it does not. They're 2 different systems. That's the way it's supposed to work. In the field, I've experienced different things. I swear I feel like I'm experiencing some different things, but they say that's not the case. So it might have just been the topic, it might have just been that particular video that it wasn't working out. I don't know, but that's the official answer.
Now, I don't know what to believe. I want to believe them, but I don't know. Something's going on. Now, if you combined all the points I've told you so far, demonetization has ended up with a YouTube shooting and $70 billion lost on market cap because they fucking demonetize everything. And if that doesn't tell you how bad it is, I don't know what will.
With before, and likely many other YouTubers have dealt with before, where you upload a video, it's flagged as inappropriate, you question that, you appeal that, and you get a response from them that says, we looked at your video, we think it's suitable, we actually think it is suitable for advertisers, but we're still going to demonetize it just in case it is unsuitable, even though we agree it's suitable. I mean, how do you win that?
Now, people be like, oh, it's time to move to a different platform because of YouTube's incompetence or whatever. But personally, I want them to get better. I don't want to leave the site. Although I am not against the idea of promoting another platform that I'm on. But I can understand why people say and think that. But I'm going to cut YouTube a break and give them the benefit of the doubt. They have been trying to make things better. Now, I might get a bit of flack for this, but I think it's only fair. For example, the community guidelines. Without warning, they were handing out strikes that would last for 4 to 3 months. Sometimes more than one, which resulted in channel terminations. This absolutely enraged people, and I don't blame them. Now they give you a warning and it lasts for 1 to 2 weeks. That is a massive improvement, and we need more good decisions like that. Now, when I look up something about the community guidelines, I don't hear anything bad about it. Finally, the CEO released a letter addressing all the criticisms that have been going on, and while visiting other creators to discuss them. In the letter, they were talking about, you know, the copyright abuse and stuff like that, but more importantly, monetization. And they were basically clarifying that, oh, we're looking to improve the accuracy of monetization and whatnot. But what caught my attention, which I think is a pretty good idea, is the self-clarification pilot they have going on, where you can self-report your video that complies to ad policies and build up trust that their systems can adjust to. In other words, a system that builds trust between its creators and advertisers, which I think is a good idea. This might potentially stop boycotts. And if the advertisers start to get to know the channels more as they start to grow bigger and bigger, this could lead to bigger and better things such as deals, more sponsorships, bigger ad revenue, etc. As long as they don't interfere with our creative freedoms that don't break the rules. Other than that, that would be a great idea. Finally, the one piece of news I'm actually pleased to hear is that Susan, the CEO, is looking into educating advertisers about edgier content.
one other thing I forgot to say is Susan herself in the conference was talking about, we're going to try to educate advertisers on more edgy content. We're going to like create a category for edgy content. And I was like, what is she doing? Like, is this, maybe this is, I need to listen to this because I curse a lot and I got angry rants and stuff.
And these are good things I'm hearing. But as it stands right now, this video will probably get demonetized anyway. Wouldn't surprise me at this point. But to give this video a closing statement, demonetization is YouTube cancer. Because we went from this to this.